What if Deku joined Team JPDE? Chapter 66. Man I Love Females Part 1. Wednesday. Day 164. Early in the morning in Team JPDDE's room. Okay Penny, how are we for time? Evelyn asked. We're right on time. Target Green Bean will be returning shortly. And Target Frost is still in the shower, Penny said. What are you two talking about? David asked. Don't worry about it, David. You'll understand shortly, Evelyn said. Okay, David said. T-10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Penny said. Deku then entered the room. Hey guys. What are all of you doing up so early? The mess hall doesn't open for a while, Deku said. Well, I'm always up early because of my nature, Penny said. As for me and David, we just woke up earlier than usual, Evelyn said. Fair enough. I'm going to have a shower now, Deku said. Alrighty then. Go right ahead, Evelyn said. Take all the time you need. A hot shower is good for your joints and muscles, Penny said. That it does, Deku said. Deku then entered the bathroom. Wait a minute. Isn't Jack in the shower? David asked. Is she now? Evelyn asked. Oh no, Penny said. The two smirked. David now knew what they were up to. The three looked to the bathroom door, but something was off. Nothing was happening. Jack then came out of the bathroom. Hey guys, Jack said. Huh. That's strange, Penny said. What's going on? It should have happened by now, Evelyn said. David chuckled. What's so funny, David? Evelyn said. David just walked away, leaving Evelyn and Penny confused. Team JPDDE were heading to combat class when Mr. Midoriya, hold on if you would please, Glynda said. Miss Goodwixt, Deku questioned. Shouldn't you be in class? It's almost time for class to begin, Jack said. You're right. I should be, Glynda said. May we ask why? David asked. Glynda sighed. With the Vital Festival fast approaching, there's a lot of prep work to be done. I've been rushed off my heels trying to sort everything out, and today is especially busy for me, which is why Professor Peach will be substituting my combat class, Glynda said. I see. But what do you want with me? Deku asked. I would like to request your help in moving the supplies to the storage room that are arriving today. I could do it all by myself, but I'll be honest with you all. I really can't be fucked to do it alone, Glynda said. Very well then, I'll give you a hand, Deku said. Thank you, Glynda said. The rest of us don't mind helping either, Jack said. The offer is appreciated, but I'd rather keep the number of students missing class as low as possible. Also, Izuku has the best average grades over all classes on your team, Glynda said. Very well. See you after class then, Jack said. See you guys later, Deku said. See ya, David said. Don't strain yourself, Penny said. Good luck, Evelyn said. Glynda and Deku then walked away. Good luck. What does that mean? Jack asked. Just wishing luck with Izuku's fishing. He's got a big fish to catch today, Evelyn said. Luckily, there's some good bait he can use. Courtesy of Professor Peach, Penny said. Wait. You don't mean? David asked. She also offered a lifetime supply of the bait, Evelyn said. Gods damn it. Why is it always him? Jack yelled. Deku and Glynda went to the Bullhead Landing and saw that the supplies had been delivered. Oh good. The supplies have already been delivered. We can start straight away then, Glynda said. That's good. So, what's in these things? I don't want to end up breaking anything, Deku said. I'm not sure. The manifest should tell us. Now where is it? Glynda asked. Glynda then looked for the manifest. Ah, there it is, Glynda said. Glynda reached for the manifest, but she, accidentally, knocked it off. "Whoops," Glynda said. Glynda then bent over the box to pick up the manifest. However, this gave Deku a full view. Deku quickly turned away, covering his nose and mouth. Glynda looked back at Deku and smiled to herself. "He's falling for the bait. Thank you, Violet. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Penny," Glynda thought. Glynda and Deku then proceeded to put the supplies in storage. Though during the entire thing, Deku couldn't help but see Glynda in a different light. "All right. That's the last box. We're done," Glynda said. "And just in time, too. Lunch is just around the corner," Deku said. "Indeed, it is. Would you like to come to my room to relax and have a cup of tea as thanks for your help?" Glynda said. Deku thought about rejecting the offer, considering his current feeling towards Glynda, but he thought it'd be rude to refuse her. And besides, it's not like anything would happen, everything before that was probably just an accident. "I would very much like that." "Thank you, Miss Goodwitch," Deku said. "Please call me Glynda," Glynda said. "Oh, okay. Glynda," Deku said. Glynda smiled. "All right. Showtime is here," Glynda said. The two went to Glynda's room. "Excuse me one moment. Please have a seat," Glynda said. Okay," Deku said. Glynda went over to her bed. She opened a drawer from her bedside table and pulled out a small bottle. She proceeded to spray herself with it. She then put the bottle away and returned. "Sorry about that. Just wanted to freshen up," Glynda said. "No worries," Deku said. Glynda then walked over to the kitchen and started to prepare some tea. As Deku waited, the smell of Glynda's new perfume wafted through the air. "Like the scent of my new perfume?" "It's the first time I'm using it," Glynda said. "I do, but I can't help but think it smells familiar." "What's the scent, if you don't mind me asking?" Deku asked. "Honestly, I don't know. There was no label on the bottle. I'll have to ask Violet. She's the one who gave it to me," Glynda said. "I see," Deku said. "Wait. Violet gave it to her? Don't tell me," Deku thought, beginning to feel hot. "Oh my. The perfume's potency is much stronger than I expected." "Sorry about that," Glynda said. It's alright," Deku said. "No, it's not," Deku thought. Glynda then bent down, giving Deku another view, causing him to squirm. "How do you like your tea?" Glynda asked. "Thick and creamy," Deku said, instantly covering his mouth. "You like your tea with cream? Never would have thought that. But I guess we all have our pleasures." "I also enjoy big loads of thick delicious cream," Glynda said. Glynda then felt a pair of hands on her rear and something pressing against it. She turned to see Deku had moved from the table. "Deku. What are you?" Glynda asked in surprise. Deku then caused Glynda to moan. "I can't hold it any longer," Deku said. "Neither can I. Take me and put your thick cream in my," Glynda said. Glynda was cut off by Deku kissing her. The two then spent the rest of the school day together. The two were now laying on the bed, calming down from the aphrodisiac. This was planned, wasn't it?" Deku asked. "Yeah. But I didn't know it was going to go like this. Violet said she would plan things out and talk you, Penny and Evelyn. All I had to do was follow her instructions," Glynda said. "Of course they were in on it," Deku said. Are you angry?" Glynda asked. Not really. To be honest, the night we spent together when I first came to Remnant, I wanted to fuck you," Deku said. That makes me happy," Glynda said. "It does too. But what about the school rules?" Deku asked. "Don't worry about them. I quietly removed those rules." "But you will be punished for skipping class," Glynda said. What? What is my punishment? Deku asked. Every Wednesday lunchtime from now on, you will come to me and help relieve me of my stress. You may bring others along as well, Glynda said. Very well. Would you like to continue or are we finished? Deku asked. Unfortunately I have more work to do, so we're finished for the day. Unless you don't mind doing it in the shower, Glynda said. I love doing it in the shower, Deku said. Then prove it, Glynda said. Glynda and Deku then entered the bathroom. After class, Team JPDE, Professor Peach and Amber, were gathered on Team JPDDE's balcony. So Professor Goodwitch is on our side, Jack said. Not necessarily. She still believes in the importance of Ozpin's mission, but isn't willing to let some of his methods slide any longer. She assured me that she won't let Ozpin touch a hair on Amber's head, even if he manages to find someone for the transfer, Peach said. That's great. That was, Amber can actually come with us, David said. Excuse me. Why are you making it sound like I was supposed to stay behind? Amber asked. Because it was. You were the only one able to protect yourself whilst we were away, before Professor Peach and Miss Goodwitch had their heart-to-heart. You really think we would leave you defenseless? Deku said. Amber sighed. I guess not, Amber said. That's a surprisingly agreeable reaction, Amber. You mean you see and accept the inherent logic? Penny asked. It's more like, after the trouble you went through to save me, it would be absolutely disrespectful to treat my own life as expendable, Amber said. And speaking of treating her life as expendable, Professor Peach, did you tell Miss Goodwitch about Jack? Asked. Yes. She knows, Peach said. So, what does she plan to do about her? Evelyn asked. She cannot move against Cinder immediately. First, because the ensuing battle would put lives in danger, Peach said. She looks like the kind who would even take hostages without batting an eye. Yes, Jack said. And second, Cinder and her teammates are here as transfer students from Mistral. They have Headmaster Leonhardt's direct sponsorship. As far as she can tell, their documents are authentic, so. There's a mole in Haven Academy, Peach said. Deku said. Ijuku? Amber asked. I had a feeling that was a possibility. Cinder would more likely threaten her way into Haven than actually try. Question is, who's the mole? Deku asked. Could it be the headmaster himself? David asked. It's a possibility. There could also be more than one. Which is why she needs to investigate this properly, Peach said. An agent of the enemy. So close to Sanctuary, Amber said. As Ozpin said, these are unprecedented times. Just, not in the way he thinks, Peach said. For now, we should avoid popping the lid on the Cinder situation. Let's let Professor Goodwitch handle it, Jack said. I agree. We should focus on Pete, Penny said. Team RWBY has agreed to help us. And Janara is working on the special designed monster we need, Deku said. So all we can do now is prepare, David said. Deku was currently in Vale doing the grocery shopping for his team, though he wasn't alone. Why am I doing this again? Winter asked. Winter was with Deku and she was carrying all of the shopping bags. Need I remind you of that little stunt you pulled with Weiss? Deku said. I know that. I'm asking why I'm the one helping you with the shopping and not Weiss. It was all her idea, and you didn't seem to mind then, Winter said. First of all, the others trust Weiss more than you, especially since they didn't know we had made peace. Be glad that Weiss took most of the punishment and offered to make lunch as an apology, and that they only made you do this, Deku said. But why didn't you step in? You clearly enjoyed it, Winter said. I thought it was a wet dream. I've been meeting with a writer and they wrote something similar to what happened after I told them about you. Minus your past, of course. And I've been having a lot of those kinds of dreams anyways, Deku said. I see. Again, I deeply apologize for what happened, Winter said. Water under a bridge, it's fine. I know you didn't have any ill intentions, Deku said. Moving on, what's left of your shopping, Winter asked. We're done actually, just got the last thing, Deku said. Good, now we can focus on the ingredients Weiss has asked for. Some of the ingredients Weiss has asked for aren't easily found nor cheaply bought, Winter said. I see. Perhaps it never occurred to her that they aren't that common, Deku said. Yup. Let's just say that calling her upbringing sheltered is reductive. Luckily for my wallet, I know cheap alternatives she can use, Winter said. So what the first item, Deku asked. Atalcian sherry, Winter said. That's a wine, right, Deku asked. Yeah, I don't know why though, you should not use drinking wine for cooking anyway. They make actual cooking wine and sell it in smaller bottles for a reason, Winter said. I see. I guess Weiss has never cooked this kind of dish before, Deku asked. I don't know if she's ever done any cooking, period. But no worries. Knowing her character, as long as she has a recipe in front of her, she'll make a perfect dish. If a bit unpersonal, Winter said. Oh, I'm sure it'll be delicious, anyway. Also, I'm kinda honored that she decided to try her hand at cooking just for me, Deku said. Well, I think she jumped at the occasion, honestly. She always showed an interest in cooking but never got the occasion, Winter said. Finally not letting the cooks making her food. The cooks actually would have taught her how to cook, if it was up to them. The problem was, Winter said. That soft-brained father of yours, that's what it was, a voice said. The two recognized the voice. The two then looked to see a woman with white hair had walked up to them. Weiss, we do not cook for ourselves. Cooking is for the help, other woman said. Mom, Winter exclaimed. Good day, Winter. Happy to see you again. You're looking good, and I must say, I'm happy you're wearing something other than your uniform for a change. Although, I'm not a fan of the urban clown style, I'm sorry to say, Willow said. Had never really gone for clothes shopping on my own, before, Winter said. I'd say. Well, Mom is here now, so that's an easy fix, Willow said. And hello there, Mr. Boyfriend. My, oh my, you look even more strapping than you sounded over the scroll, Willow said. Hello, Miss Willow, Deku said. While I appreciate the effort in not making me sound married, we both know that's not how you're supposed to address me, Mr. Boyfriend, Willow said. But in public, Deku said. Your plight is understandable, but you should have thought of those terms before agreeing wholesale, Mr. Boyfriend. Now come on, be a good boy, Willow said. Hello, Mother, Deku said. How the hell did she already train you this far when you hadn't even met her, Winter asked. Still as pleasurable a word to hear off the lips of a young man as always. But we've sallied enough around here. Let's finish your errand and then we can do a little of the catching up, as they say, Willow said. Who says, Deku asked. Beats me. But I find it an absolutely silly turn of phrase, Willow said. The three then went to a cafe close by. Ah. Lovely. So refreshing, absolutely fulfilling, Willow said. Mom, it's just vacuosion, Cedrita, Winter said. Chilled and drank in non-artificially produced warmth. Don't let Atalcian high society hear you, but all the money in the world can't replace real weather. I mean, they know it, there's a reason why they all vacation in Menagerie, but Willow said. That's not what I mean, you're not, Winter said. Drinking my body weight in alcohol, Willow asked. That's not, Winter blushed. Oh, come off it, now. Why do you think I'm wearing sunglasses, here, Willow asked. So you're not wearing them because they make you look good, Deku asked. They do look good on me. Thanks for noticing, sweetheart, Willow said. You're welcome, Deku said. Anyway, no. Other than being fabulously stylish, these are moisture chamber glasses. They help with photophobia, Willow said. Photophobia, Winter asked. I believe photophobia means hypersensitivity to light, Deku said. Indeed. It's also a possible symptom of alcoholism, Willow said. Is it? Is it permanent, Winter asked. The doctor is not optimistic, but let's just say it was a wake-up call. Hence why I'll have to refrain from sampling too much of Weiss's food, Willow said. Wait. You mean, Winter asked. You want to attend, Deku asked. Of course. I wouldn't miss the opportunity to eat my daughter's very first home-cooked meal for anything in the world, Willow said. I think it's a bit too soon to, Winter said. Oh, nonsense. There's not time like the present, Willow said. Speaking of which, why are you here so early? I thought we wouldn't see you before the Vittle Festival, Deku said. Wait, the Vittle Festival? What about the Vittle Festival, Winter asked. Oh, there'll be time to talk about that. Anyway, I decided to take the opportunity and get an early extended vacation in, so to speak. The good doctor advises reduction of stress alongside my medicaments. And let's just say that huge mansion has become way too crowded, when accounting for the ego of your father and check of my spawn. Also, he suggested I pick up aura training again, and what better place to be inspired than in the shadow of Beacon Academy, Willow said. Winter sighed. Just so you know. Flawed doesn't even begin to describe what Weiss's reaction will be like. And I guess I can convince her to replace the sherry with vinegar, Winter said. Predicted and accounted for, my dear. I trust I will also make the acquaintance of Weiss's teammates, Willow asked. Yeah. Which, I guess, it's as much fallout protection we can ask for. Knowing Weiss, she won't allow herself to go too ballistic with her reaction with Ruby around, Deku said. Her team leader, correct. I still can't believe the ever so prideful Weiss allowed someone else to be in charge. This Ruby must be quite disciplined and skilled, Willow said. Skilled, yes. Discipled, however, Deku said. Deku then told Willow about Ruby, Blake and Young. Deku and David were working in juniors. Their shift was almost over for the night. David had just finished with a customer whilst Deku was still interacting with his customer. David decided to go and change and then wait for Deku before heading back. As he was making his way to the staff room, he couldn't help but think about his wig, it was making him itchy. He then thought about taking better care of it for the long run, which led to him thinking about what he wanted to do. He did just drop into being a hunter and a host, but he didn't really have a choice of attending Beacon. You do know that's the best way to damage the merchandise, Melanie said. Melanie. Excuse me, David asked. If you frown that much you're going to get age lines quicker. That's a surefire way to damage the merchandise, aka, your face, Melin said. I see, David said. What's on your mind? You didn't lose the last bullhead, did you, Melin asked. Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I always say the last, but there's a night service. It's just not as frequent, David said. Is there now, Melanie said. Well, yes. Why do you ask, David asked. Well, I was thinking, Melanie said. Meanwhile. He didn't already leave, did he? He always makes sure to say bye before he does. I guess he must be getting changed. Waiting for him at the entrance would look a bit weird, wouldn't it? Still, if I suddenly become occupied with something else I won't be able to talk to him, Milshia thought. We never really interact with each other outside of work, don't we, Melanie asked. Well. No, I guess not, David said. I think it's time to fix that, no, Melanie asked. Well, I don't, David said. Don't you dare, Milshia thought. Milshia then got closer, hiding behind a pillar. Aren't you a bit too close, David asked. A bit. Don't worry, it's completely on purpose, Melanie said. That is not the point, you little Milshia thought. Not really the point, David said. Yeah. You tell her, Milshia thought. Now, don't fret the details, David. Focus on what's really important, here Melanie said. And that'd be you, David asked. You catch on quick. I think it's time for you to get to know your senpai, Melanie said. Not again. This is unfair. Why, Milshia thought. I don't deny I would like to. The prospect is certainly interesting, David said. Watch it, David. That sentence sounds like it's leading to a refusal, Melin said. Not a refusal. It's just, David said. I have to talk to my partners and I'm still a student. I can't stay out late on a whim. So can I just reschedule? To a Friday, maybe. That way I don't have to worry about classes at all, David said. Why is it always her, Milshia thought. I can't say I'm happy. But I'm not displeased, either. Rescheduling is acceptable, but don't think you'll be able to flake on this. I know where you work, Melin said. I guess you do, don't you, David said. No, Milshia thought. Milshia began to back away. She turned around to run, but she hit something. Wow. Are you okay there, Milshia, Deku asked. Yeah. I'm fine. Sorry, Milshia said, blushing. Are you sure? You seem distracted, Deku asked. It's nothing you should worry about. I was just thinking, Milshia said. Thinking about what, Deku asked. You know what? Fine. That bitch can have David, Milshia thought. Would you be interested in hanging out after work? On a Friday perhaps, so you don't have to worry about classes the next day, Milshia said. Okay, sure. That sounds nice. But I do have one question. Where did this come from, Deku asked. I was just thinking. We don't interact with each other after work, it would be nice to get you more out of the workplace, Milshia said. Fair enough. I'm fine with it. I'll ask David on our way back to Beacon, and you can ask Melin if she's down, Deku said. No need. We've already talked about it and she went to ask David. I see. It's a double date then, Deku said. Yeah, Milshia said, blushing. As always I'm getting seconds, but hey, Izuku isn't a bad backup, maybe even better, Milshia thought. We'll let you know beforehand when we're ready to go out, Deku said. That sounds good. Gives us time to prepare. Anyway, you should get going, Milshia said. You're right. Night, Milshia, Deku said. Night, Izuku, Milshia said. Deku then went to change and then headed back to Beacon with David. End of chapter 66.